Hey there and welcome to checking out the Asuras for the Aleph faction in Infinity. This one is the one with a Spitfire, because why the hell not, right? We have it there, it's a 3-part mini. It looks like it's N2 mini because it has the round attachment points rather than the square lock-in points that they tend to use in the N3 range. It's super fine detail, beautiful model as ever from Corvus Belly. Just check out the individual components and look at flash, etc. We've got the body then, and you can see there's just a release point at the end of the hair. Injection points are coming in through the slotter base, so no mess there. There is a slight cast line along the outside edges and inside edges of the legs. Apart from that, beautifully clean miniature. As ever, these older miniatures seem to have an attention to casting, and I think the cast lines are really just because it's old. It often seems to be with these older miniatures, because sometimes these older miniatures, they come out and they're just absolutely immaculate. So we shall see. I'll crack on and get on to the next beats. This good arm then, and this is pretty damn good. The injection point is in the elbow here, and there's a release point here, but it's a bit flashy, so there's a bit of flash around the shoulder. Another release point on the top of the gun so that the handle has actually got the hollow in it, and there is a slight cast line. And again, I think it's just to do with probably the age of the miniatures. I think these have been around for 5, maybe 6 or 7 years or something, so the cast will deteriorate over time. Here we have the other arm then. It's teeny weeny, so it's probably quite difficult for you to see maybe, but depends on the size of your screen, I suppose, actually thinking about it. But this is the injection point. It's coming into one of the hexagonal panels which are running down the arm, which is just above the elbow. Release point here, and again this mould seems to be a little bit flashy. It might be because it's a tiny piece, something to do with the amount of pressure, tiny scale related stuff I don't really know anything about. Again, it's a fixed model, so that there's already the hand on the Spitfire itself, and there is a cast line running all the way around this one. We have Asuras assembled then. She went together pretty easily. Do find that with these 3 point of contact miniatures, where you've got the hand already on the weapon, so the arm that isn't attached to the weapon has to be attached to the weapon, so you've got the 2 shoulders and the weapon point. You kind of need to get them all right straight off the bat and all aligned. And the only problem I find is that maybe just my fingers are too big, but with these very fine pieces, as much as the miniature looks beautiful, they can be a right pain to assemble. Also, it's interesting, I was looking at these and it's like, I'm beginning to think that it was maybe N2 where scale creep occurred, because the N2 miniatures seem to be the same height as the N3 miniatures, so about 28 to 32 mil tall depending on how crouching they are, whereas the N1 miniatures, which I think are like the JSA army pack, the sort of real old stuff, they seem to be like true 25 mils. So that's another way perhaps of telling how old they are and from which set they came from. Also, she could stand on her own 2 feet before I attach the arms. So again, the centre of balance on the miniature is incredibly good. The Spitfire does pull the miniature forward and cause it to fall down if she doesn't have her own feet. But that's not utterly unreasonable, I don't think. Gigantic cannon, teeny weeny little girl with heels. Not much foot area to stabilise her. It's not really unfair, is it? So, I hope there's been some interest used to you and that you're getting everything together easy peasy like. So, thank you for watching, have a good one and take care. Bye bye.